Hey guys, Eric Heyman here with the Joy of Homesteading. I was wanting to do on Mondays a basically agriculture truths or homesteading truths that you may find in the Bible. I wanted to do it every Monday and just see what the Word of God has to say about farming and farming practices. There's a tremendous amount of references in the Bible to farming. The people mostly did farming as their main way to provide for themselves. And there's definitely some different podcasts and things I listen to where they've went through and they've pulled out all the finance truths that are in the Bible and things like that. And I don't know anybody that's ever done the agriculture side of things, so I thought that it might be fun just to start. And maybe you don't believe in the Bible, maybe you don't believe these things, but even if you don't, I clearly do. But even if you don't, there are truths in the Bible. And this is a book that helps you lead a good, decent life no matter what. So let me just start by, I'll find these passages, I'll talk about the truths, and then we'll talk about at the end what's going on, and it might just kind of enlighten you. So my first passage here that I have, I'm going to do the New Testament first. It's Luke 2:8. I'm using a chronological Bible. So as we go through the New Testament, it's going to be in order. So it'll be multiple books, just the truths that I find. You may find some others. Just send me an email or leave it in the messages and I'll look up what you have in mind. But Luke 2:8 says, that night there were shepherds staying in the fields nearby, guarding their flocks of sheep. So, agriculture truth number one in the Bible, our livestock that we keep needs to be protected. And this used to be a role. The shepherds would stay out all night with their flocks guarding them. Back in biblical times, we didn't have a relationship with dogs like we do today. You can read in Ecclesiastes where Solomon is basically saying that it's better to be a live dog than a dead lion. And what he was referencing was a lion was a proud animal, but a dog was this mangy, nasty scavenger, and nobody liked dogs back then. So today, if we want to guard our sheep, guard our livestock, we could use livestock guardian dogs as one of the ways to guard them. So they can stay out with the flock all night and protect them and guard them. There are some other animals that we use. So donkeys could be used. Some people use like ostriches and emus and things. It seems like a prey animal like a dog generally is a better livestock guardian dog. I don't use a livestock guardian dog to guard my sheep. I use a system where I pin them up every night. So they didn't have good fencing back in the biblical times. I pin mine up every night in a fence that really nothing can get into. And then I let them out each day into their separate paddocks. I don't use a guard dog because I don't really have enough animals to protect. I have 6 sheep, and it's as bad as it sounds. A livestock guardian dog, I have to pay for the dog. I have to pay for medications for the dog. I have to pay for flea and tick medicine for the dog. I have to pay dog food. The dog food, you're going to be spending $40 a month at least just to feed a dog, a big dog. Livestock guardian dogs are big. So as you can imagine, just 40 times 12, we're looking at $480 to feed this dog. A baby sheep or a lamb, generally in my area, could go for $170. So I would have to lose 3 or 4 animals every year just to break even with a livestock guardian dog just to feed it. So that just doesn't make financial sense for me. So I pin them up every night. I let them out every night. I use electric fencing. So my main predators in my area are coyotes and raccoons for the chickens. There have been bobcats in the area, but it hasn't really been a problem of several years. The neighbors behind me were losing calves to bobcats, and they ended up trapping that bobcat, and it's been gone, and it hasn't been a problem since. Livestock needs to be protected. That's just basically what I'm getting at. So I use electric fence that keeps dogs out. Neighbor dogs can be a problem. And then towards the back of my property is wooded. So I will run my sheep in the back when it is summertime, when there's a lot of things for coyotes to eat, like rabbits and everything else. And then in the wintertime, when things get scarce, as part of my predator protection program, I will move the sheep to the front, closer to the road. There's less woods, it's more pasture, cars are going by, we're in and out of the driveway, and just the human presence and the human element helps to keep the livestock safe. So it doesn't matter if you have sheep, goats, cows, chickens, whatever. Biblical truth number one, you need to protect your livestock. They have to be kept safe, or the things in the night are going to kill them and eat them. So this passage, basically, when we go into the biblical side of things, is Jesus, the Messiah, has just been born, and then an angel of the Lord comes to these shepherds who are staying in the fields and tells them that the Messiah has been born. The shepherds that were in the field were generally considered the lowest class. They weren't very powerful people. They spent all night with these animals. And for God to reveal that the Messiah has been born to a shepherd, to the low class, is kind of interesting. He didn't go tell the king, he didn't go tell Caesar, he didn't go tell anybody in high authority. He went and told the lowest class. They left the field and they went to see what the angel had told them about. And the other thing that is interesting about that is Jesus had to be descendant of David, and David himself was a shepherd. It's just another fun fact. David was one of Jesse's sons. David was the second king of Israel, and when Jesse brought his sons to be chosen for which one was going to be the next king, Samuel at the time looked and said, well, he's not here. He's not in this line of sons. Do you have any other sons? And Jesse said, well, yeah, I do. I have another son, but he's out in the field with the sheep. His name's David. And David ended up being the one that was chosen by God to be the next king of Israel. So here it is, touching back to that, talking to the shepherds first. Just kind of interesting, something to think about. We're going to get into these biblical truths of agriculture every Monday. So if you like that kind of thing, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next Monday.